we'll go ahead and get started. Joining us, Cliff Daniels, crew chief of the number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevy, and Jeff Andrews, the Hendrick Motorsports general manager. And we'll go ahead and open it up for questions from the media. Start with Jerry in the back.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. Safe to say life is very good for the 5 team right now. Your thoughts coming out of here? I mean, you kind of forced everybody else to compete and to race. You can't. Only one more can win in. So, what does that mean to you guys?
Yeah, it's certainly a very fortunate day for our team. In the middle of the race, I didn't know that we were going to be standing here right now, but very proud of our team. Thankful to Mr. H and Miss Linda back at home. Definitely thinking about them. What this means for us moving forward, really, I said it last week. I'll say it again. There's a cadence to how our whole team prepares. Everybody is bought in. Everybody believes in it. So if I went to them tomorrow and said, hey, we're going to ignore Martinsville and focus on Phoenix, they're just not going to listen to me. So we're going to stay focused on our path and what it's going to take to prepare to go to Martinsville. Of course, we have our eyes on Phoenix. We're going to prepare like we should to go there, but we've just got to keep going.
But you've eliminated some of your competition from having a shot at, moving on that may have been lower down in the ranks.
Yeah, for sure. And I think hopefully the team that can get a good benefit out of that is the 9 right now, because if I'm not mistaken, they're 30-plus points to the good. Martinsville's an amazing track for them, so I would imagine they're going to be the favorite to win Martinsville, and hopefully both of our teams can go into Phoenix with some good momentum.
All right, we'll go to Bob.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. Jeff, it's been 17 years, and I'm curious, what do you try to... There's a lot of people at Hendrick who never knew Ricky, never knew Randy. What do you try to tell them about the people you lost 17 years ago?
I think, Bob, it's the legacy of so many great pillars of our company. Randy was just one of the pioneers of Hendrick Motorsports and one of Mr. Hendrick's very first employees, and so much of that company was built around him, and then knowing Ricky and knowing where he was headed in our company and the plans for what Mr. Hendrick and Mrs. Hendrick had planned for him in our company. We'll always hate that we never get that opportunity to see that, but on days like today, you just have to stop for a few minutes and kind of take it all in and realize what's important. And as Cliff said, we're certainly have the Hendrick family and Mr. and Mrs. Hendrick in our thoughts today. Special win, special obviously getting that paint scheme to Victory Lane here in Kansas. Got to be a special day for them and really the families of all those that we lost 17 years ago today.
Let's go over to Harry.
Harry Loomis, Griffin Media. Cliff, it seemed like you guys were by far the best car in the long run, but it seemed like Chase and William were kind of able to keep up with you on the short run. Was that kind of based on last year, the end of the race, had that about 40-lap run? Was that kind of your focus?
Yeah, we were actually hoping to be a little bit better on the short run than what we were, but the things that we did not do well in the spring for long run handling and balance is really what we focused on to try to get that part right. And then hopefully not sacrifice too much of the short run. I give William and Rudy a lot of credit. Rudy, because he called the race, had an amazing fast car, and he almost got knocked out at the start of the race. So great job to their team. I hate that it didn't go well for them at the end. I think they still came home with a decent finish. But, yeah, they definitely had us beat on a short run. If you get out front like we did, you can kind of help control some of the lanes and the way guys move around. And then, of course, like you said, as the run went on, I think our balance was probably a little bit better than what they had.
We'll go to Sterling.
Sterling Price, KCOU Sports. A couple questions. First one for Cliff. Obviously, first year working with Kyle Larson. Kyle today actually set the new record for most laps led by a driver in a 36-race single season in NASCAR. Jeff Gordon previously held the record. What's it been like working with Kyle and just being the team to beat on a really regular basis throughout the season?
Yeah, working with him has been it's been incredible, and we've always seen with him that he was going to have the potential to go do what he's done, and then last year, not being in the Cup Series but running dirt, I mean, he won half the races that he entered last year. I think that kind of tipped off the world to what could be to come. and then getting our team together. So thankful to Mr. H and this guy over here, Jeff Andrews, for getting our team together, bringing Kyle in, and we just started chipping away at the beginning of the year. Having the lap sled, category is awesome. I think to be smart though, I look back at a lot of the races that we led the laps and didn't win the race, because there's a lot to be learned from that about keeping us sharp and executing better. Still a really cool stat to have, and we got 2 more races to go. So now I need to go look at the races that we didn't win and make sure that we do a good job the next 2 weeks.
My other question's for Jeff on Kyle having just a wonderful season, and comparing that to Jeff Gordon and the type of season he had 20 years ago, which led to a championship. Is there any similarities or things that you see in Kyle that could be seen in Jeff when he had his season 20 years ago?
Yeah, I think they're very similar in their driving styles and their aggressiveness. And you heard Kyle talking there, midway through the race about really what he needed from his car, and he felt like he just needed to be more aggressive on the restarts and get up there towards the front. And that was Jeff Gordon's style. I think very similar there in the aggressiveness, early on in the race, and then so many races during those times for Jeff that he dominated like that. And so yeah, a lot of similarities that I see.
All right, joining us as well, obviously, our winning driver, Kyle Larson, driver of the number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevy. Kyle, unbelievable run you're on right now. Can you talk about just sort of the stretch you're on, 3 in a row?
Yeah, it's cool. We were on a stretch like this during the summer. I think with 4 wins there with the All-Star ones. So just really cool to be on another streak like this. I feel like we've had to work a lot harder to be on this streak than the other ones. So just says a lot about the perseverance in our team, at the Roval, and then today, Texas one is great as it could have. But these other 2 wins have been hard work. So yeah, just proud of my team, and wasn't expecting to be sitting up here, but just very happy, and the significance of the day too makes it feel even more special.
Before we get to questions with Kyle, any other questions for Cliff or Jeff? And then we'll get into some more with Kyle.
Cliff, this is for you. Justin Palmer with the Columbia Missourian. Obviously, if you guys get the next win, either at Martinsville or Phoenix, you guys would have 10 wins, which would put you in an elite company. The last driver and crew chief pairing to get 10 wins in a single season, which is Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus back in 2007. What would it mean for you to join, and not only Chad Knaus there, but all the other Hendrick crew chiefs that have come before you in that at 10-win column in a single season?
Yeah, even to be mentioned in that conversation is special as it is. I've been so fortunate to learn a great deal from Jimmy and from Chad, being on that team with them for a handful of years. And just the leaders that they are, guys like Alan Gustafson, Jeff Andrews, Jeff Gordon in our company. We've had a lot of guys that really have done a great job helping me along the way and helping our team along the way, and I know they do that for everybody else in the company. I think just with the leadership from Mr. Hendrick to believe in his people, put the right people in place, and give us a good team and all the right parts and pieces to go get the job done, makes for just a special environment, special combination. So hopefully we can get that stat. It's pretty cool to be a part of.
Any more for Cliff or Jeff? All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate your time. Congratulations. Safe